Welcome back to Best Man Made. I'm your guy, your virtual G Mac. Listen, people, y'all are the absolute best. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about the people that have subscribed to the Best Man Made Let's Get Made TV channel. Let me tell you about these people. I went ahead and I put a video. I hadn't put a video up in a decade. Okay? It's been a decade since I put a video up. At least it seems like it. I put a video up. I didn't talk about it anywhere else, right? I didn't do no IG because I told you I'm kind of IG hiatus. I need to at least announce it on IG, but I didn't announce it on IG. I didn't announce it anywhere. I didn't even send anything to my friends or people I know directly through email or text or whatever it might be. I just put the daggone thing up and I hit publish. Y'all just chimed right on in. Like we hadn't had this long absence of Best Man Made videos. Y'all popped right in, right on time. Mac, what's going on? Mac's back. All these things. Man, I saw some people I love, people I hadn't seen in so long, and it made me proud. It touched me a little bit. Okay, not in the wrong place. Touched me in the right place. And so the thing about it is this, people. I gotta tell you, I like doing this. I don't do it for the money. You know that. If I did it for the money, I mean, what kind of job is that? You show up on your job once a year? I mean, they gonna let you go quick. So don't do it for the money. You gotta do it for something bigger than yourself. I'm getting ahead of myself. Today, I want to give you something that I think a lot of people have either thought about at one time or they're thinking about right now. And there's never been any long format conversation. No long format. I don't like doing that little short format. I like long format. Okay? No pun intended. So I'm going to give you the long format today. And we're going to make this very specific. We're going to talk about something that I think needs to be discussed. Rolling. People, I want you just to kind of take your time with this one today. Like this, again, we not in a rush. We having a conversation, right? I know it seems kind of weird because I'm just talking. I can't hear what you're saying, but I could in the comments. So please leave a comment and let me know what you think when it comes to this, because this is something that came up through a conversation. All right. Now I'm gonna give you the bigger picture of this whole thing, of course, but this was a conversation I had with my homie Kennedy. Like I said, Kennedy has been holding it down for Let's Get Made, doing all the posts, doing all the things on the Let's Get Made IG channel for quite some time now. Thank you, Kennedy, again. But in just a regular conversation, Kennedy and I were talking. See, Kennedy is, I don't mean to put your business out there, Kennedy, but Kennedy is in college now. She's doing a thing, and she was going to school. And I said, look, I just want to ask you a question. We're just talking. What you going to school to do? You know, what you studying? She told me what she was studying. And I said, okay, well, why are you really going to college? I'm just curious, And so, we kind of had like a little conversation about it. And during that conversation, something particular was said. And the particular thing that was mentioned was, I really don't know why. To some degree. I mean, I'm saying that in a nutshell. I'm paraphrasing it. My daughter just ran by real quick. I'm going to get her on this channel in 1 second. But, Lauren, come here real quick. Come talk to the people. Can you duck in here? Can you get in here? All right, take your time. I'm going to ask you a couple questions, okay? What, you going through that way? Okay, kids like to be all adventurous. Okay. So say hey to everybody.
Hi.
Okay, now you're going to speak into this mic. Okay, you don't have to get really, really, really close, but you in there. Okay, this is my daughter, Lauren. You've been doing great upstairs, right? You're in class.
Yes.
Okay, what grade are you in now?
First grade.
First grade. See, my baby girl is getting big, and I'm loving it. So I got to ask you this question, Lauren. Now, we've had this talk before. What is it you want to do in life? What do you want to be? What do you want your job to be, you think?
An engineer. I want to build house, and I want to be an engineer.
You see what I'm saying? We didn't practice this before. Did we practice this before?
No.
We didn't practice this. She just said, I want to be an engineer and I want to build houses. This is first grade telling you this. So, okay. You want to be an engineer. Do you know do you know what you had to do to build houses? Do you kind of have an idea?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, like, what do you do to build houses? I'm just curious.
You just need like bricks and this kind of clay to make it.
Bricks and clay. Do you have any, like, so have you practiced it? Have you have any games that you play?
Yes, I have a game and it's called Blockcraft. And then you can build with it and you can build a house. And then you can put it online on the game, then other people can build the same thing that you build.
Oh my goodness. You can go on Blockcraft, build houses. This is a girl in the first grade. How old are you?
6.
6 years old. See what I'm saying, people? These kids already know what they want to be. The world is what's holding them back. So your boy Mac is going to make sure, and I'm going to make sure my daughter gets a chance to explore what it is she wants to do in life. Let's go back. All right? I'm not going to be, this is the truth. This is a true story right here. I wanted to go to college and major in art. I was an art guy. I've always, you know the first job I wanted to do? I wanted to be a music video director. Of all things, I was so big into MTV and BET. I wanted to be a music video director. That's what I wanted to be, right? And I was good. I was in the video. I was in the film, even long before all this was even popular. Long before YouTube, good God. But I was so into it. I wanted to make something dope. I remember looking at Belly and looking at all these different things of how these different music video directors had created stuff, and Hype Williams had done all this. And I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to make movies, man. I was good at visual art. And so I said, okay. I told my parents, look, I know y'all got ideas and plans for me, but I want to go in and I want to be an art student. My dad and my mom were like, wrong. You're not going to do that. I mean, largely because my dad, we had this great conversation. One thing he pointed out to me is something I never thought about. And I always remember this, especially when I talk to somebody now and they tell me what they want to be. My dad said, do you know how much it costs for you to live right now? I was 16 at the time. That's what you mean. He said, I'm talking like if you had to pay rent right now for a place you live in that had 1 bedroom, bathroom, den, kitchen, how much that cost? No, I don't know how much it costs. He put that down on a piece of paper. He said, okay, you got a car, right? Yeah, you got a car, okay. How much your car note costs? No, I don't know how much the car note costs. Put that down on paper. Guess what's so funny about buying a car? They tell you got a car note, but they don't tell you got to do maintenance. And I'm talking like you might, thing about it is through a year, you might have to do maintenance on your car maybe twice a year, somewhere in there, depending on how you're driving or whatever. So we put that down on paper. We talked about food. We talked about, heat, bills, cable. You got a girlfriend? Put that down on paper. Right? All these things created what he called a lifestyle. This is the cost of your lifestyle right now. He wrote that out to be about $55,000 a year. Okay? Somewhere in there. I can't remember. He was like, that's what you want to kind of make when you get out on your own after school. You need to walk into a job that can pay you that so you can get what you're getting right now. Forget what you want to get. Forget all the things you ain't done yet and all the places you want to go and all the things you want to buy. Right now, this is what it's going to cost for you to make a living, to live like you live now. And don't nobody want to go back, okay? I'm straight up, man. A lot of people are like, oh, man, I'll be good enough. I can do this. Look, how many of y'all out there, because look, have had to live off of a salary that did not give you the same type of life you had before you went to school? You see what I'm saying? You had to kind of regress a little bit for it. And it makes sense. You got to get out there and get on your own. You have to see what is it like for me to make the kind of money and have the kind of living that I have right now at this particular time. Okay? Been there, done that, went through that whole thing. Like I said, been there, done that, got a shirt, all that. But my dad was on to something. He made me think and understand, yeah, they were pushing me to be a lawyer. Largely because the majority of my family are lawyers. Shout out to the Newell family. Good God. If you got an issue in North Carolina that you need solving, I got lawyers that can take care of you. Now if you're doing some ignorant mess, I'm sorry, you just got to go to jail. That's a different story. But if you're looking for a good lawyer, judge, whatever it might be, down there in North Carolina, holla at your boy. Okay? But beyond that, what my dad was trying to tell me, the education you're going to go get is going to help you walk into a door for a particular job. And that particular job has a certain number of where your expectations are going to be and how much you're going to make, right? And so me at the time, yeah, pops, whatever. You don't know me. I'm going to do whatever. So it was all that kind of mess. And long story short, I didn't come out making 55. All right. So it was a lot different, man. I actually ended up teaching first, which I loved that job, but it didn't pay me what I needed to get paid for the lifestyle that I wanted. Anyway, got me to think about what I'm going to talk to you today about. Very specifically, 3 things. Think of this as a 3-fold path. All right. In life, when you go into a job, this goes back to my homegirl Kennedy as well. You'll see what I'm saying. What you need to look at is a 3-way path, right? Three moments in this path. The first thing you're trying to do when you're coming out of school is to make money. You're trying to make a living. And a lot of your mindset and your thought is on making money. The second thing you're going to come to find out is what you'd rather do. You want to make money, but now your next important thing is to be happy. You want to enjoy what you're doing. You want to wake up with a smile on your face. You don't want to feel the stress of going to work. You want to be happy. And the third thing you want to do, the thing that happens a little bit later in life, I'm not quite there yet myself, but you want to be able to make sure you leave your mark, right? Now, I told you I'm Italian, Uncle Nearest, all right? I'm going to tie in some things that's come through my mind, and this is kind of how we're going to go about it. So my conversation with Kennedy, going back to her, it made her think, yeah, you're right. I got to think about what I want to do, but I had her already think about process number 2. What's going to make you happy? When she's thinking, like most people are thinking at that age, I just want to make money. This is why you got, and let's be real. When you go when the time comes and you got to go do your high school reunion, and this is so funny because there's a lot of people, man, during that high school reunion. What's a 10-year reunion? Something like that. I think it's 10 years or 20 years. I don't know. I've had both of them, I'm sure by now. I think I went to the 20-year one. I think it's the 20-year one or the 10, anyway. Did I go to 20 years? Yeah, it's been 20 years. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Math take a minute for a second. When you go to your 20 year, what people are either afraid of or excited about is you want to see how people turned out. And still in that time frame, in that little phase, you're kind of on the border. Your 20 year, you're kind of on that border of making money and being happy, right? So you want to see, one, who got married, who had kids, how they look, but you also really want to see who's making the money, right? Because a lot of times, and this is just the honest truth, we equate success and failure with the amount of money you making. So that first part of the path to make money is a big deal for most people, especially at first, because you're trying to secure your lifestyle, right? You're trying to go ahead and show you have value to add to something. You got something out of all this process of going to school, whether you were doing well or whether you were doing bad in school, whatever matters. They can't say nothing when they look at what you make and your income. Okay? So I'm talking to a lot of these younger cats and they're like, yeah, man, look, when I'm 30 years old, I want to be a millionaire. Good God. Okay, I'm with you. Boom. I mean, it's doable. Especially now, the younger cats, they seeing YouTube. They seeing, social media. They seeing so many different ways now. They can start making money. Like my daughter at the age of 6. Right? They can go and start trying to build it. They might even go to college. You got that whole new path that's just opened up. But that's what I'm trying to get at. Money is the great equalizer. In a lot of aspects. Money can sometimes help you break the boundaries of gender, religion, race, beauty, all those things. You got somebody who might end up being like, who was kind of bad, kind of raunchy to look at back in the day. They just look kind of, like a glob of stuff. What? I don't know. They just didn't look good. But if they go out, they find out they're making some dough. You turn around, they got a fly ass girlfriend, and you just like, man, how'd you pull this girl? Well, I'm making some dough, and I hate to say it, but that's what happens. Or some people that made some money, and all of a sudden now they look different, right? They done got fit. They the skin cleared up. They're wearing clothes that fit them. I mean, all these things changed once they made money. Money's the equalizer. So I went ahead and did a quick Google search, and I see the best paying jobs or top paying jobs for 2020. All right, we're going to go ahead and go through the first 20, okay? Because I think that's where number 20, let's go there. Number 20, the median salary. Oh, wait, 21 is there too. Okay, let's do the top 21. All right, number 21 is a pharmacist. Okay, the reason why I want to start a pharmacist is because I'm looking at the median salary. The median salary is $126,000, right, a year. Now, you need a doctorate education level to be a pharmacist. At least that's what this says. I'm going through all this whole thing, right? Now, the job underneath that, the median salary is not even breaking $100,000, so I ain't even gonna go there. Okay, that's a pharmacist. Now, number 20 is a business operations manager. Median salary is $100,000, right? You need a bachelor's degree for that. Then you got a sales manager, number 19. Median salary $124,000, bachelor's. Then you got lawyer, number 18. Median salary $120,000. You need a doctorate. Number 17, a pilot. Man, you know how smart you got to be a pilot? At least I would think. Median salary is $115,000. I thought it would be more than that. Another thing I'm going to make, another point. You're going to be surprised at how much money people don't make. Okay, $115,000 today's time, you know. They're saying that's number 17. Okay. Financial manager, median salary $127,000. You need a bachelor's. Marketing manager, there we go, $134,000. Need a bachelor's degree. Podiatrist. What's a podiatrist? Oh, they look at your feet. I ain't never been to a podiatrist. I probably should go to a podiatrist though. You know what I mean? Why not, man? I mean, my feet feel good and everything, but they might find something that might be like, you know, good God. But I'm saying, I mean, you want to look at, is it only feet? I think it's only feet. Median salary $129,000. You need a doctorate for that. I mean, if I'm gonna go to school and get a doctorate, I'm only making $130,000. IT manager. Here we go. Okay, median salary $142,000. You need a bachelor's. Petroleum engineer. Isn't that something? Median salary $137,000. Bachelor's. Nurse anesthesiast. Now I think anesthesiology, I would think that would be very high, but that's number 11. Median salary $167,000. Okay, this is a nurse and an anesthetist. Anesthetist. Okay, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Anesthesiology. You get $167,000 median. You need a master's for that. Number 10, a dentist. $151,000. That sounds about right. Need a doctorate for that. Pediatrician, number 9, $170,000. Doctorate. Oh God. Prostodontist. You know they do prosthetics. $176,000. Need a doctorate. Physician, definitely. Median salary $194,000. This is number 7. Need a doctorate. Psychiatrist, really? Psychiatrists make $208,000 for you to sit there and tell them your problems. You get $208,000. Wow, I might need to look into. I mean, ain't that what a virtual OG is? Aren't we like basically like a psychiatrist? Need a doctor for that. A lot more schooling. Orthodontist, number 5, $208,000. Doctorate. Obstetrician gynecologist. My dad was this. Number 4, median salary $208,000. Need a doctorate. Oral surgeon. $208,000. They're cutting them all off at $208,000. They're saying basically $208,000 plus. Doctorate, surgeon, number 2. Number 1, I thought it was anesthesiologist. I know they make dough. Their malpractice got to be high, but $208,000 plus, you need a doctorate. My point is this: medical field, you pretty much figured that's where you need to go, right? For that kind of money. And that's always been on the top charts. I mean, I can't even tell you how long when it comes to making money in this country. Now, all those things I named, several of them you need a doctorate to get. So if you are in school right now trying to get your your bachelor's, then you normally have to go for your master's and then your doctorate. You're going to be in school for quite some time, and school ain't going to be cheap. Okay? And the man going to want his money back. So if you get, it's great if you get a full ride, no doubt. That's really good for you. But other than that, you got to pay all that education. back. And they're going to be right there hounding you, trust me. For those that have student loans, they'll tell you, it's no joke. So you better be going to school for something that's going to help you make that money so you can even start making a living for yourself. Now, a lot of people that have to go to get their doctor, they'll tell you, man, they're struggling up until they actually are in practice. And they got to be in practice for a minute. Because I think they do residency even before that. So you're not really making no dough until you I'm talking about if you're going straight through, right? High school, all this stuff. You ain't really making no dough until you turn 40. Okay? Basically. You got to pay all this other stuff off, and it's kind of crazy. So making money, I can see how that being the first thing you need to think about with your career path. Okay? If you're in school trying to do like I was trying to do, becoming a music video director, I'm not saying I couldn't be one. Hell, I probably could have made it. I mean, who knows, right? And I'm going to tell you this, you can make money being anything. That is true. But you might want to think about it. You might want to think, am I getting into something that is leading me to make some dough? Now, second thing, which is very important, and you don't really think it's important or know that it's important until after you start making some money. Or until after you've been into, the field for quite some time, right? You're in the workforce for a while and you say, okay, look, you know what? I'm working late. I'm working overtime hours. I'm not seeing my kids. By then you probably have kids. You may or may not have kids, have a spouse or whatever it might be, a partner, you know what I'm saying? But you start looking at different things. And what you're looking for all of a sudden is happiness, right? You're saying, okay, man, it's all good to make $150,000, but it's at the expense. You can't, look, it take money to make money, right? So everything costs. So if you out there spending time, that's what you're losing. You're losing time with your kids, you're losing time with yourself, losing time with your spouse, time with your family, whatever it may or may not be. Time with things that you might love and enjoy doing. Now, a lot of people, depending on how they were brought up or just how their mind works, money is over everything. You know what I'm saying? Money takes precedence because that's just the way that they were cut. But it's very hard for people to find happiness through money because like people always, is an old saying, money can't buy you love, money can't buy you happiness. Money can give you a lot of things that can make you feel good, but it ain't gonna give you happiness. And ultimately, I will tell you that is true. Okay? So I think by looking at step 2 of this whole equation, make money, the second thing being be happy, you start to recognize things that make you happy or help you become happy. And one of them beyond just family is the less amount of stress you got in your life. Making money and any job that I named out there that shows that they making some dough, those jokers are doing hours upon hours out there hitting the grind, making it happen. Now your boy Mac is a grinder by blood. I mean, it's just in me, you know. I don't feel right not grinding. Let me tell you something, your boy. Look, another reason y'all didn't hear from me for quite some time, I took on a second gig, and this is what's crazy, man. When I took it on, I was like, I got a new baby right now. Daughter's home. The pandemic had already started. Why am I bringing in a second gig? What's going on with this? What's the point? And I was like, you know what? Because the opportunity was there. Why not? I'm home anyway, so I'm seeing my family. And I'm not going out anywhere else. So my happiness, I'm able to be around things that are helping me to feel some kind of happiness. But the one thing that I started getting more and more, or less of actually, is I got less time to exercise. And for me, exercise is a stress-free zone, right? That's how I relieve my stress. I couldn't do it. And I'm going to tell you this, man. My dad was a workaholic, and one of the things beyond his health and nutrition and all that, one of the things that tore him down, hypertension, right? Heart disease. These are things that I think largely are part of our life because of stress. And you got to manage stress like you manage friendships. You know what I'm saying? You got to find some way to kind of keep your hands on it at all times and just know where you at with it. Because stress is a silent killer. It will creep up on you, knock you out. Now, I know I'm being a little graphic, Mac. God, man, you're making me feel a little bad. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just saying, let's have a real conversation about it. Get out there and think about making the dough, no doubt. That should be part of, that's step one. Get yourself in a direction to make the kind of money you need for your lifestyle. Not everybody needs a Tesla. Me personally, if I get I don't know. Can't say I won't. But, I'd rather have a very nice house. No joke. If you give me a nice house, I told you, I'll drive my Camry till the wheels fall off. I will. I love my Camry. I do. I really do. Even though you gotta, roll the windows down. No, it ain't that bad. But it's definitely had its times. But I'm just saying, a lot of people want a lot of things. Shout out to my homeboy Myron. Me and Myron talked about this, and Myron was like, you know what, man? I got to have me a fly car. And I get it, because that's how Myron is. It's his thought process, right? But Myron also is going to do the work and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get out there and make the dough, which he definitely does. So that's what it's about. But I'm trying to tell y'all, make sure you think about making the money and think about how you're going to do to be happy. Now, here's the interesting thing about being happy. And like I said, normally this happens after you tried to make the money or you have made the money. The interesting thing about trying to find happiness is you're going to realize it was always there. Even as a kid, you know exactly what makes you happy. It's so funny. We don't listen to ourselves. We rather listen to somebody who don't even know us. Yo, Mac, it's gonna make you happier to do this or do that or whatever. You need to make $285,000 a year to be happy. You don't need to get married. Why you don't get married? Married is not gonna make you happy. You need 8 kids to be happy. It's all over the place, right? And you start listening to it, and to be honest with you, it makes sense. Man, I kind of, this person, I trust them, you know what I'm saying? You got a mentor telling you. Right? Now, those other mentors, they're the worst. The virtual OG is going to tell you the right way. And I'm going to tell you this. You already know what makes you happy. I'm going to tell you, I got a 6-year-old daughter. And she knows exactly what she wants to do. Now, it's up to me to allow her to be able to explore that. Right? I knew at a young age that I liked film. I remember my dad had finally gone out and bought a camcorder. Now, back then, man, camcorders were like TVs, you know what I'm saying? You put that whole thing on your shoulder, you hoist it up, and you just so excited you were able to shoot, 5 minutes worth of stuff, right? You shake it and all this kind of mess. But he bought this camcorder, and he claimed that he wanted it. But he did that because he knew I was really, really into film. And I actually would record the birthday parties, the homecomings, all these things, and I enjoyed it. And that's before they had editing software that real people could buy, so I couldn't do any of that kind of stuff. But it's funny now, you talk about over 30 some years later, I'm still messing with cameras. I'm still doing something with that. I always knew that's what I enjoyed. It was a happiness for me. Me spending this time with you right now, making me happy. Myron, like I just mentioned Myron earlier, his brother Trub, oh my God, this dude, I tell you, man, I used to be afraid of Trub. So when I found out that he was my friend and he loved me, man, I was so happy. I felt like I could do anything. But Trub told me one day, I was outside, he said, man, Mac, you talk too much. You keep talking, man. You can see, this is what's funny. I was a kid then. Here I am now. I'm talking a whole hour to you, daggone, with nobody else. I'm able to talk. I got gift for gab. I'm ready to go. You hit record, let's go. Give me a mic, let's go. I'm not that kind of guy who needs to do a presentation back there just, what you need to do. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't bother me. Let's go. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. It was also a good way back, when I had to get the ladies, it was always good because I was good on my words, but I used to come out there with it. Good God. But my whole point is this. I knew I had to gift for gab. Right? I knew I was interested in some kind of film, video, something that had to do with that kind of media, even before I necessarily had the resources or the way to do it back then. So doing this naturally is something that I enjoy. I want you to do something for yourself. I want you to just kind of give yourself some time and some space and explore the things that you would do on your own. Not for money. Not because you think you need to or you have to. You're trying to impress somebody or you're sticking to your promises. Just something that you would do anyway. Some people like the game. Now there's actually a proven money path to making money if you love to game. You're a gamer, right? Those jokers are making dough. I'm pretty sure right now YouTubers or whatever doing this, or Twitch or whatever it is, they should be on the list now anyway. But not everybody's gonna make it, right? And this is what's interesting about being happy and making money. Being whatever gender you are, whatever race you are, this world has not always allowed you to make money off the things that you love. So now you got to start thinking, knowing that I love this or love that, how can I become prosperous in it, right? Because now things have changed. 2020 is a much better year for a lot of people. It ain't the best, but I'm just saying there was a time when even if something made you happy, you couldn't do it. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of doors were closed to black Americans out there. We already noticed this story. So this is why you had a lot of black Americans were impoverished. And their only way to make the money they're trying to make, they ain't got money to go to school like that. I mean, unless the ones that are getting those full rides, yeah, no doubt. But you're talking about maybe the 1% of the 1%, which is why more people started putting their time and their investments, cause you invest in your kids. Good God, man, you know how much school, toys, devices, all the stuff you got to do, programs, how much this stuff costs, daycare. You're investing in your kids. So if you think right now that somebody, oh, you know, whatever, I'm just gonna go out here and I'm gonna do some willy-nilly mess, man, look, you done drove your parents crazy. They done forgot how much money they're investing in you. I'll be daggone. Right now, look, my daughter already is in the hole. You know what I'm saying? My son at 8 months, that joker's in the hole. You know? I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't say that, man. As long as they happy for real, I'm going to support it. But my point is this. There's a very large percent of impoverished kids, especially us black Americans at times, who are putting a lot of their time and their efforts, you know what I'm saying, and their investments into sports, because that is something that has been more easily accessible. And even though only a small percent can go pro, you see that more. There's more chances of you thinking that's a possibility versus being an anesthesiologist. You think I'm kidding? Try to find some black, you know, people around my age that are anesthesiologists, or even a little bit older. You're not going to find it as much. The resources weren't there. So that's what I'm saying. Now you got to think now. I mean, 2020, you have different resources for the majority of you, right? Don't take that for granted, because that came at a heavy note that was paid through ancestors, people before you. So make some of yourself. You know, step out there and do it. Now, I know I say a little bit too much time on the be happy part, but that's very important. Okay, third part, right? The part that's very important, man, that I think a lot of people need to focus on. Now, you've already thought about making money. You've already thought about being happy. The third thing is simply to leave your mark. Somewhere along the line, you come to figure out it's bigger than me. What I'm doing, my worth, my place on this earth is bigger than me. I got to put out something that's going to live beyond me, right? I got to be worth just being here. You know what I'm saying? If I'm out here and all I do, and I'm not, man, I ain't gonna try to call out any kind of profession in particular, but if you're just doing just your job, and your job cannot leave a mark on anybody, and you're not, you know, being involved in anybody's life, you know, intimately, you know what I'm saying, whether it be kids or partner, whatever it is, and helping them build up and get to the next spot, then what you doing? If you can't, a life being worth lived is not a life just of money. You know, there's certain people in this world, I ain't gonna say no names, that might be billionaires, okay? You know, that might have high positions in this country. But what kind of legacy are they leaving? A legacy of, you know, when you hear this person's name, you frown up and all you can say is something negative about them? Or you laugh at them really just because it's humorous in the sense of ridiculousness? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think, when this is said and done, and hopefully you are old enough to look back on it, are you going to be proud and happy for what you did? Is it gonna be worth what you put your time into? Is it gonna be worth what you put your money into? Is it gonna be worth what your folks put their time and money into? And all those that believed in you. As your virtual OG, I want my mentees to be on it. I want y'all to step out. Look, I got some amazing DMs, like I said before, that was sent to me. These little comments, even these comments y'all put out there. Mac, oh man, it's so good to see you, Max. Man, that fills me up. I don't even know what to say back besides, man, thank you, salute. Major thanks. Love y'all, I miss y'all. But I feel like the video, the time it took, it could be 10 views. But if your comment is on there, I did my part. Most of y'all are sharing me with other people that, hey man, just check this joint out, man. Mac is on point with it. I mean, dude, it was worth the time, right? I'm leaving my mark with you, right? One of these jokers hit me up and he was like, I need to find that email, man. I really do, man. I feel bad if I can't really find it, though. But it was, I think they hit me up on the Let's Get Made IG page, and Kennedy sent it to me. She was like, just read this. And let me see if I can actually pull this up while we're doing it, man. Like I said, I'm never on IG, so I'm glad my passwords still work. How do you even go to? Okay. We might be in there. Nope. No. You know what? Let me go right here to Kennedy. Kennedy sent this to me. Y'all bear with me. Okay, Kennedy gave me a screenshot of this. Let me see. Okay. Let me see who this was. Ross Little Cook. This came from Ross, man. It says, appreciate it, brother. You know, like thousands of people that you have inspired and helped improve their lives. I'm one of them. If you go back into my IG post, you will see a few tags I have adopted into not only my own posts, but I live my life by this now. Boys are born, but men are made. He hashtagged those. Bro, I cannot thank you enough for those videos you put out. Because of you, you helped me into the man I have become, and because of your shared knowledge and wisdom, you continue to help mold and shape me as a man. Truly, thank you, Mac. You are truly appreciated, King. Ross Little Cook. Oh my God. How can I stop making these videos? It was, you know what? Man, I'm sorry I stopped making them. I am. That was me being, you know what? I'm thinking about myself. True, yeah, I got a lot going on, no doubt. But if this has affected anybody in that kind of way, I'm leaving my mark with Ross, right? I'm out here. It ain't about you rocking the Let's Get Made hat of the crown, rocking the crown. It ain't about that. It's about this right here. And so for me, that was very important. And I told y'all I wanted to sum up this real quick. But when I said leaving your mark and how you remembered it and creating a legacy, I go back to Uncle Nearest only because I have a certain point I want to play with this whole thing. When I got connected with this company almost 3 years ago, yeah, I like whiskey. Feels good, drinks good, smells good, all that stuff. Yeah, tastes good, all that. But there is a story that's being told. And like I told you all the time, this is the best American story you ever heard. And I start going into that. And now, just recently, just yesterday, a video came out with Victoria Edie Butler talking about specifically the legacy that her great-great-grandfather has with Uncle Nearest, because her great-grandfather was Uncle Nearest. She's by blood related to Uncle Nearest, Nathan Green. And Victoria's telling her perspective of how she's connected to Brandon. She mentioned those words, legacy. Even though this gentleman passed away over 100 years ago, now his story is being told, right? His actions that he did in his life is helping him be now of worth, of value to people over 100 years later. So I'm saying, where you put your efforts in life, it's going to matter. You got to really, really think about this, because I want you to think about all 3 points of this path, right? Make money, be happy, leave your mark, okay? It's important that you kind of approach life that way. Now I'm saying all this, and I got kind of serious on this one, I guess, in a kind of weird way. I don't know. I didn't mean to. I always like to evoke a little bit of humor when I can. But this is one I thought about last night. I said, I can't wait any longer. I need to get this out to the people. I got my little setup going. Let's go ahead and let's not delay. I think this message got to go out to somebody in particular. So the bigger picture of this whole thing is I want you to understand the path you are taking right now in life should help lead you to where you want to be. And honestly, it's the funny thing. It should help lead you to what you always were to begin with. Right? As a kid, the things that you were interested in, the things you wanted to do, if you take the right steps in life right now, you're going to be that little kid that's getting a chance to live out your dreams. That's what this thing is about. Look, come get over here real quick. You got kids over here that's being a part of this whole thing. They're trying to get out there and make their own way. And you don't want to stand in their way, because if you stand in their way, you acting like a little kid, you're like a little boy. But as we all know, right here, right now, on Best Man Made, boys are born, but men are made. We'll see y'all next time. Boys are born, but men are made. We'll see you next time. You're good. No worries.